2007 financial crash, 5 kids, pregnant, house gone. What did that moment feel like in your body?
I had a lot of anxiousness and fear. We lost our home. We lost everything. Losing all your money isn't always the worst thing. There's way worse things. With this red picnic basket and the book I read about lice advice, the first time I had lice, I was so embarrassed because I didn't really understand they like clean hair.
In my school days, my mom used to tell me that don't go very too close to the kids because you might get their lice. That was a time very long ago. Growing up, I never heard of anything. Maybe people don't talk about it out of shame or embarrassment.
I honestly did not know anything other than what I read in this book from friends and family. I'd go to their home and I would set up my product, and I honestly didn't have a clue. But I'll tell you what, I knew more than them. Giving up is not an option. You have to rethink things, yes, but giving up is not an option.
Big dreams don't come quietly. They demand risk, they demand fire, they demand crazy transformation. Welcome to The Corporate Life, hosted by Hina Siddiqui, CEO and founder of Corporate Influence Media and creator of the Let's Make You Famous 90-Day Celebrity Campaign and media strategist featured across 600 plus global outlets. Join us as we sit with million-dollar entrepreneurs, tech CEOs, and celebrities who share the scenes that shape them. Here, success isn't a headline. It's a human story. The turning points, reinventions, failures, breakthroughs, and bold decisions behind their rise. Because your life is a movie too, and you're the star of yours.
2007 financial crash, 5 kids, pregnant, house gone. What did that moment feel like in your body?
It wasn't only the house gone, it was everything gone. And it was, oh, we don't have money. We owed $3 million. So I had a lot of anxiousness and fear, but also trust that God was going to figure this out for me. I just thought it would happen a different way. I thought things were going to work out with my husband's incredible business. I thought surely it wasn't going to all collapse because he had a very successful business and I was a stay-at-home mom. So I was so confused as to what to do, but I just took it a day at a time. I couldn't go past a day. It just was a day at a time, prayerfully and carefully plotting what I was going to do.
And at what point did the red picnic basket come in the story?
Okay, so we had a bout of head lice when my daughter was in my belly. She's now 25, and I had never grown up with head lice, so I really didn't understand how this bug operates. And I was so shocked when my girlfriend told me it lives in your hair. I said, what? What kind of third world bug is this? That it lives in your hair and you can't get rid of it unless you do certain things, medicines and combing. So I had a company come to my house, and it was the only company in Los Angeles at the time. There weren't many people doing this. So I found the only one to come to the house and to help me. And I remember it being very expensive. But at that point, you don't really care because you don't know what to do. I was ready to have a baby and I had head lice, and all my other 4 kids had lice. And first of all, I felt like the worst mother. I thought, how could I not see this or know this? But that's what happens, is that if you've never had it, it just, gets in there, head to head contact only. They love clean hair. And so my kids we all had infestations. And the lady that came to the house, she got rid of it. She came 2 times. It was like $1,500. But at that point, you would pay anything to get this thing in your hair. So literally 12 years went by. And what happened is, this whole subject of head lice kept coming up at the schools we were at. And I tell the parents, I hired a company. I did this. And it was, the best thing I did. Don't try over-the-counter treatments because the lice are immune to them. They don't work. And so I thought, well, maybe I can learn more about this and help people. So I bought a red picnic basket for $1 at a garage sale. And my husband and I found some products online, and I put the products in the picnic basket. And I read a book that I found online, and it was a very good book. And it told me everything I needed to know at the time, but with no experience. It was just a book. So what happened is, um, we literally lost everything. My husband lost his beautiful building in Venice. We lost our home. We lost everything. Um, but we still had our faith. We still had each other. We still had our health, and we still had our 5 children, all healthy. So losing all your money isn't always the worst thing. There's way worse things. So we had to figure out a plan. And with this red picnic basket and the book I read about lice advice, I started going from word of mouth. Okay. Remember, we owed $3 million. I had no money for logo, website, nothing. I had word of mouth and a lot of perseverance and a lot of faith that God was going to do something. And what happened is, over time, I was able to build a logo. A friend of mine helped me, and a web page. People weren't doing much advertising on the internet at that time. It was something kind of new. So that red picnic basket, I still have it as a memento, because I'm literally building a multi-million-dollar business from
Wow.
a picnic basket.
Yeah. Amy, was there a moment you felt embarrassed about it?
Well, the first time I had lice, I was so embarrassed because I didn't really understand they like clean hair. And my kids were telling everybody in the neighborhood, "We have lice, we have lice." I said, "Oh my God, this is this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare." And you just feel so dirty, you feel so gross. And because no one talks about it, you don't know that it's very common. And so, yes, I was embarrassed over that. And then I had other times where, for example, our son went to USC on a scholarship. And I remember, being at this big gala and, with CEOs of large companies. And I turned to my son, I said, do, do your friends' parents know what I do? People get big eyes when I tell them. He says, "Yes, mommy, it's fine. Everyone loves you. Don't worry about it." It was just,
It's a very different business, right? It's a very different thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. In my school days, my mom used to tell me that don't go very too close to the kids because you might get their lice. That was the time very long ago. But after that, growing up, I never heard of anything. Maybe people don't talk about it out of shame or embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we ended up in another kind of shameful, embarrassing time. But I was always so grateful at the same time. Don't get me wrong. I always had a lot of trust that something good was going to come out of this mess. And my husband and I were going to court fighting lawsuits because, he had this multi-million dollar business. It was in selling locks for cars. He was doing really well. So when that collapsed, it's like we still owed debt. And so what happened is I had applied for our son to go to a college prep school up here in Calabasas. And when everything was collapsing, a letter came in the mail and he got a full scholarship. And so we moved to the Calabasas area, which is very affluent. And I'm thinking, God, you really have a sense of humor. Here I am. I'm a nitpicker. I'm here at a college prep school. I would drop him off in the front of the school uh, with Sugar Ray Leonard's daughter and all these celebrities. And I go to the food bank in the back. And that happened for a couple years. It was just, yeah, something I'd never been through before. It's a new experience. And when you don't have two nickels to rub together, you're thinking, well, I've seen people recycle bottles. Maybe I could go get bottles and make some money for groceries as I was building my business.
Yeah. Did you ever question your identity from stay-at-home mom to knocking on strangers' doors?
No, I am a fierce, strong woman. And anyone that can raise 5 children can do anything. Trust me,
Yeah.
especially when they get to the teenage years and the things going on in this world. You've got to have some resilience, but more than that, you have to have faith. You have to have
Yeah.
a foundation of faith. I alone don't have confidence, but I know with God I can.
I love that. Amy, what did it take emotionally to ring that first doorbell?
So the funny thing is that I honestly did not know anything other than what I read in this book. I had no personal experience. So I would go to homes, they would call from friends and family. I'd go to their home and I would set up my products, and I honestly didn't have a clue. I had no clue what I was doing. I just had seen pictures and videos. But I'll tell you what, I knew more than them. And most people didn't know anything either. So I would start combing, sectioning. I would do what I saw in videos. And I said, okay, I've got this. And, when you come to people and you're friendly and you're nice and you're loving and kind, people are forgiving. And
Yeah.
the things that happen is I would get calls back. People would say, is it normal to find bugs in our hair after you've left? And granted, they've paid like $300 and it's so embarrassing. And I would be horrified. I would be horrified. I said, I would just pray. I said, God, you've got to help me. I don't know what I'm doing. But, as time goes by, you perfect your technique. You do a little better each time. And something, I was going to homes with my little red picnic basket for years. And then one day I was going to a home and I saw a for rent sign on a little yellow cottage just out of the corner of my eye. It's here in Thousand Oaks. So I stopped and I looked in the building. It's a little cottage and it was very small. And I said, well, that might be too small for a salon. And my husband came along and he goes, no, it's perfect. That's why it's good to have two people. He never regained his business back. And he was kind of glad he was done with the car business. Like he said, I don't even want to go back. And so he's took all his gifts and talents and we've joined together now. He helps me with acting and the financials. But anyway, I'm telling you this because I ended up renting that little place. And that was my first location. And I said, this is pretty good. I can hire another girl and we can, advertise on the internet. So that started the process. I wasn't looking for it. But sometimes, when you're a believer and God is ordering your steps, it happens.
I totally believe that too. Like God has a different plan for us. And I recently was watching a video by Oprah Winfrey, and she said that don't ever ask that, don't tell God that what you want. Just ask God that what you want for me. And God has a bigger dream for us. And when God is executing that dream, then nobody can come in the way. Nobody can take anything away from us.
That's so true. And I've always believed that. I
Yeah.
just didn't know how this was going to grow into a multi-million-dollar business. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That was the first location. And then I was getting calls from a city called Downey. I'm like, where the heck's Downey? I'd never been there. I'm getting all these calls in schools. I said, told my husband, maybe we should look for a location in Downey. So I found a little place and it needed a lot of fixing up. And so that was our second location. And then after that, we opened in Redondo Beach and then Pasadena, then Riverside, Costa Mesa. And now we're opening in Las Vegas, mobily. So, you just gain more and more knowledge, and you get your technique and your um, steps in place, what you need to do, and you don't veer from it. Like, this is how
Yeah.
I'm going to spend, this is the area I need. And, my husband and I, we pray over it, we talk about it, and I'm usually the one that goes forward and finds things. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been a journey. It's been fun.
It's been fun. Yes, I can hear from you. Like, I'm sure that if you have created something really big out of that, it definitely must be of not very easy, but still, like, it was the mission, it was the purpose. And when your mess became your message, because I see that clearly that you were not launching a startup, you were walking into people's homes. Uh, Treating something most
Yeah.
families hide in shame, embarrassment, right? They don't even talk about it. So
Yeah.
then realizing that you can make it a kind of movement, like when you were doing it, you were not just removing lice, you were removing stigma.
Oh, that's so good that you said that. I just wrote this book, Everybody Gets Lice, and it's on Amazon now. And it talks about, um, you know, babies, grandmothers, mothers, African American hair, straight hair. It's got every kind of hair and every walk of life. And so I wrote
Yeah.
this book. It's just out recently. And I'm just hoping to remove the stigma because everybody does get lice. I've
Yeah.
been to the biggest reality stars in Calabasas. I've been to the scariest places. I was sent by the Head Start program to go to a trailer park, and it was a little bit late at night. And I knocked on the door, and it was a nice Hispanic family. And I said in my broken Spanish, "I'm here to help you get rid of the lice." Well, they probably thought I was from, protective services or something. They were afraid. And I
Yeah.
had to tell them, no, I was sent by, this organization to help you. And so I've been all over with this journey. Um, it's been, incredible in some ways. I've been able to give jobs to about 30 women and
Wow.
taught them a new trade. And that part is a huge blessing, but it's also hard managing 30 women. You can
Yeah.
imagine the problems people have. I just do my best. I try to be a good example because I started this business and I was at my lowest point. That I hope people can look at me and say, you know, I never gave up. I never gave up. I taught myself a skill. Just one skill is all you need. Just be the best at it. Just become an expert at just one thing. I don't care what it is. Um, and you can build on that little by little by little, but you have to put your all into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, it's interesting to see that you, while trying to eradicate a problem at your home, like with your kids, and you build that business out of that. Because every time a child gets lice, it's not just the itch, it's shame, missed school, isolation.
Yeah.
So this is not easy for kids to handle this kind of situation. And I think even for parents, it's not easy.
Well, I did something really that I'm so proud of. I started a charity. It's called Lice Free Forever Charity. And I'm able to help those children that are missing school. I tell school nurses, give them to me. Send them to me. I just don't want any children missing school because they have bugs in their hair. And I recently had a little girl, and I think she had lice probably a year, and her hair was all matted, bugs crawling through. It took us 3 days. Her hair was broken open in sores, and the school knew about it. The school nurse sent her to me. But imagine how she felt when she got to walk out of there, because not only when you've got lice, the other kids know it. They're not going to play with you.
Yeah.
They make fun of you. You're dirty. You sit by yourself during lunch. It becomes a whole stigma that defines your childhood. And
Yeah. It brings a lot of isolation and judgment.
yeah, so why not? Why can't people help? Um, so I think I'm probably one of the only companies that steps in and says,
Yeah.
I have a beautiful donor. I just have one donor, and she's very generous with me, and I don't need to raise money or anything, but we just, and my husband and I, we just take care of it. Uh, that's my pleasure. That is my pleasure. I have my own line of products that I started here years ago. This is a little box of treatment. It's really cute, and
Mm-hmm.
it's non-toxic. I've got enzymes, oils, and a lice comb. The toxic chemicals over the counter don't work. They simply don't work. The lice are immune to them. So I've got these beautiful products. People can buy them and, follow the directions, or they can come and visit us at one of our locations. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Amy, you mentioned radical surrender. Was there a moment you let go of trying to control the outcome?
I couldn't control the outcome of anything. All I could control was going forward and learning more about what I was doing and doing my best and always having a positive attitude. Um, I was known for laughing when things weren't even funny because I just, you know, when your backup is against the wall, it's like surely all you can rely on is God. You just don't have you can try, but the outcome's always going to be what our Lord decides. It's nothing I can work up in myself. I'm not a business person. I was just a mom, a caring person, and I have a lot of tenacity.
Hmm. I love that. I love that. I love your business. I love your mission. It's very interesting. I have never met anybody before on my show who deals with it and who offers this kind of solution into the world. This is interesting. And now let's just take a different direction. And I would like to play a little game with you. It's called This or That. And I love to play this game with every guest on my show. This is like I will give you two options. You just need to pick one answer based on your instinct, and no, you don't need to think anything. Are you ready?
Yes.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge, this or that. Choose fast, trust your instincts, and let's go.
Okay. So door-to-door hustle or online launch?
Online launch.
Faith or fear?
Faith.
Survival mode or vision mode?
Vision mode.
Profit or purpose?
Purpose.
Mom guilt or CEO guilt?
CEO guilt.
Chemical quick fix or long-term care?
Long-term care.
Expansion or intimacy?
Expansion.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Being underestimated or being unstoppable?
Being unstoppable.
Perfect. Thank you for being spontaneous with this game. As I said, I love to play this one.
Yeah. And, when I talk to people, I tell them there's certain things in life that people don't know more than you. They just tried harder and didn't give up.
Yeah.
So find that one thing you're good at and just perfect it and become the expert. And, that's what's going to lead you to your path and success in life.
Yeah.
Mine happened to be bugs. I didn't really pick it, but I guess I did have to choose it. So yeah, I love what I do. And I'm very grateful that I can help people with this problem. I'm so grateful.
This is nice. Amy, we believe that every life is a movie and you are the star of yours. So, what is the title of your movie?
Never give up.
Awesome. And why is that? Would you like to talk a bit about it?
So I could have given up many times. I could have given up when people would call me and say, "Oh my gosh, you left this in the hair." And instead of giving up, I went back and I fixed it. And I could have given up when we had to be out of our house in a day and I didn't know where I was going. I could have given up and said, I just can't do this. I could have given up when we had not even 2 nickels to rub together. And then the phone would ring and my friend had groceries. I could have given up when I had doubts or fears. But giving up is not an option. If you're going to have business, you have to rethink things, yes. But giving up is not an option.
Yeah.
Well, you have to live. It's not for everybody. But I'm not to work for anybody. I work with my husband and I and my Lord. And that's the way God has it. And my 2 daughters work with me. We have 5 kids. 2 of my younger daughters work with me. They grew up in the business. One manages a salon up here, and the other one answers the phones. She's married to a captain in the Marines, so she's all over the place, and she'll, do the customer service. So I never pressured my kids to.
It's a family business.
They all have successful careers, my other 3, but the invitation's always there. If they want to come help, they can. But this situation happened when the 2 youngest were with me, and my son was at a college prep school, so he went in his path. But I guess when you grow up in a business, you feel like, this is my baby too.
Yeah.
They've seen it from the beginning.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? What's your vision?
Very exciting. I see a couple things. Because I have a product line, I see myself expanding my product line for other hair problems, like maybe dandruff or baldness or, just good natural shampoos. So not just lice. And then I see the salon part of it. I see expanding nationwide. I had my first call from Nevada yesterday. I was so excited. I'm like, yay, we branched out of California. And, it was just one of those moments, but it doesn't happen overnight. This is 17 years plugging away.
Yeah. Amy, if you would need to leave this world with one message of yours, what would that be?
That's easy. Trust Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He'll never let you go.
Yeah. Trust God in whatever form you believe in.
Can't take anything with you from this life.
Yeah.
You can impact people's lives and you can help other people. Those are the most meaningful things that you can take with you. That's it.
Yeah. And for those who would like to follow the rest of your movie, how can they connect with you?
Well, I'm on TikTok at My Hair Helpers. I'm on Instagram at My Hair Helpers. I have a YouTube channel, but I'm mostly on my TikTok. It's so popular that they can see what I'm doing. And up close and they might not want to see what I'm doing, but you can see what I'm up to.
Yeah. It was wonderful to know about your business and to see your life movie. Thank you for being on the show.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I hope that I was able to encourage somebody and help somebody move forward.
Yes, I'm sure you have.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes being an expert and perfecting that quality that you've chosen. Thank you for having me.
This is The Corporate Life. More stories, more insight, more truth. Until the next episode, stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe.